Good morning, William.
Hey, good morning, Dimitris. How's it going?
Good. Hi, Chaka.
Morning, Ichaka. Morning, Ettore.
Good morning. Hey.
Hey, folks. Good morning.
Mauro is traveling to Barcelona for what's the name of the event? Cloud
DevVCN, Cloud VCN.
Yeah, that. Yeah. All right. So we don't have to wait. I'll share my screen immediately. And there. All right. Let me close my. There we are. All right. How was your week? Anything anybody wants to report before we start? All right. And again, before we start, anything you already know for your week, for this week, your capacity, days off? Are we all going to be around?
Yeah, I'll probably be a bit off on Friday. I think it's my children are finishing school, so there is some kind of party or something in the morning when they dance. So I'll probably be off an hour in the morning.
Yeah, that's today for me and tomorrow. But my wife went, so I'm off the hook. Let's see. Last week we were trying to get a release out. Turns out, before everybody starts scanning everything with AI finding CVs, it was okay to block the releases on CVs. It has become a real burden now because every time we fix something and try to release, there is something new coming in. So at this point, we were thinking about not blocking the releases because this thing could happen even immediately after we release. So it's not a real value to just block it because 10 seconds before we release a new CVE appeared. After all, if anybody is sane in this world, they wouldn't rely on our builds for their production systems. They can build their own pipeline unless it's in our binaries. So I think we would have to discuss per case whether we block or not. But the pipeline right now doesn't even continue building. So if you go now to Kairos here, the master branch, wait, it's broken, and the pipeline doesn't even go as far as running the tests, if I remember correctly. See, as soon as it finds the CVE, it stops there, stops building, doesn't run anything. So we have no idea if the rest of the repo is fine, if the end-to-end test suite is running, just because of this. So my suggestion, and I think we discussed this with some of you guys, is that we don't at least block the pipeline, we let it run, we make this information only, and as soon as we're about to hit the button to release, we decide if we go with this or we block. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me. Yeah, we cannot keep doing this. It's just not feasible anymore.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not going to create a ticket because that's part of getting 411 out. But if you guys prefer that we create a ticket to track this work down, I'm blocking the pipeline, we can. I think it's okay to just do it as part of the release, which is blocked anyway. That's why last week was kind of slow, but we did get some things done. It's not all reflected here, so if there are tickets missing, let me know. It's like I know you had some work on Hadron, which is not reflected here. Either just add it now to the board if you know what tickets they are as we go through it, or just let us know and we discuss them in the end. I'm going to go through the done column first. Most of them were old tickets which I tried to close semi-automatically. So I had cloud scanning all our open tickets, finding low-hanging fruits, doing some research on some of them that are no longer relevant or already implemented, and that's how we got many of these closed. So I'll try to go quickly through them. If I can remember what they are. So this one was closed because there was no additional request. Nobody replied if they want to this feature of targeting a specific Linux kernel in Hadron, so we closed it. Ubuntu 26.04, I think it works. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. There was a problem with trusted boot, but it was just due to because we were no longer testing Ubuntu. We added some very specific Hadron stuff in there. But yeah, everything should work as expected.
Nice. No format option was missing from YIP. At some point we lost that. It was there, then we lost that. So it's back, and it's propagated all the way up to Kairos agent, correct? So now it exists in Kairos agent. All right. And documented. I think this one is one of the old tickets which we closed, which I had Claude creating docs for it or linking to it. Yeah, automatically closed. So I'm not gonna go through all the details of this because they are really old. Order of stages in docs, it was done. Ubuntu core, we never picked it up and there's no interest anymore. And there were comments saying, no, it's gonna be a mess because of, I think, snaps and things like that. OS Builder Central Artifact Server, it's already documented as part of the operator. OS Builder is the old tool for whoever doesn't remember that, but the operator has instructions on how to upload to an Nginx server or wherever you want, S3, whatever. Flavors that support system DC6. I think most of them now support. I think it was created back then where system extensions were not a default thing in distributions in the various distros. Now it is. No reason to explicitly list them. Raspberry Pi OS Lite, we're no longer building images for Raspberry Pis. There are instructions to do so, so don't do that. Scripts via inline config, I think it's already the case. It works. Secrets in OS Builder partly done. The whole config can be a secret. There was an idea from Jason back then to have multiple secrets which you can embed, which is a little bit more complicated than what we have, but nobody ever requested the additional stuff since then. So there is a way to put it in a secret. It's the whole cloud config. If anybody ever wants something more fine-grained, we can discuss. Custom image and ISO, that's part of the OS artifacts. We already do that. Single node K3s cluster, extra paragraph, that's old documentation, no longer relevant. Debugging steps we've added. This was fixed. This was old one, no longer relevant. This was fixed. There was a deprecation notice in code about etc elemental config YAML. We kept reading that for backwards compatibility, but it was supposed to be deprecated, I think, on version 3. So we're way past that, and we just removed it. People must have migrated by now. There was a warning in some release notes, I think. There was no explicit warning in code if you used that in logs or such, but it is time we removed it, I think. Yeah, this was referring to old docs. It's no longer the case. This works fine. Enki is no longer a thing. And actually the same name problem has been fixed. We prefixed them. Insecure registries. Okay, that's actual work from last week. I think it was an additional pull request for the UKey building flow in AuroraBoot, which I forgot to implement. And this was the additional. No, sorry. This was the first part, and then this is the one about UKey flow, the additional one. So this is adding the insecure registries feature in AuroraBoot. And it includes, of course, the Kairos SDK part, because that's what AuroraBoot consumes. So what we're missing is to do that on the Kairos agent, and there's an open ticket for that to finish it. Image size computing AuroraBoot incorrect size. I think we added a little bit of slack because there was a math problem dividing by 1000 instead of 1024. Then we fixed the math problem, but then the division made the available space smaller because we divide by a bigger number, which wasn't enough. So we increased the slack a bit, and that was fixed in, where is the fix? The fix would be in AuroraBoot, and AuroraBoot not obviously, maybe it already has a new version. I just don't know if it's bumped everywhere, like the operator, the pipeline, but the fix is in AuroraBoot, so eventually it's gonna land everything in all consuming repos. Yeah, like random failures on CI because curl couldn't fetch things from GitHub. The unicorns 500 thingy. So added the retry flags so it's not blocked so easily. Then bumping depths for CVs and the closed ticket again. What is it twice? Target a specific Linux 3919, and then we have, where is it? 3919. Okay, GitHub is going crazy, listing the same things twice. One second, let me close the window. Some noise. All right, let's see. Did it fix itself? More came in. Needed a refresh, actually. Depths in Nemu core. AuroraBoot Redfish deploy. That's a big one. That's the huge one, no, William?
Sorry, one more time.
No, this ticket, I think it's that big pull request on AuroraBoot.
Yeah.
All right. Want to explain what's new?
So this ties up the entire Redfish Redfish pipeline to AuroraBoot methods. What it basically does, it provides a way to register BMCs into AuroraBoot UI, and so it registers BMCs in AuroraBoot UI, and when we deploy, we can monitor the progress of the deployment of an artifact into the system. Yeah, that's pretty much what it does, but I feel like I should say more.
There was a nice demo you gave us at some point.
Yes.
On how it works. I'm not sure if we can do it now.
No, because I would have to stand up the demo environment, but we can make a short recording for
sure.
Shorter recording for the.
And maybe you can ask Mauro to upload it to the Kairos channel on YouTube so we can share it with people.
Yeah,
would be
we
nice.
can do that. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. But where were we? Install first this DM0. Okay. DM0 names are not the actual disk.
Yeah.
and when we detect that, it fails. So the fix was
Yes, but it fails because so many years ago, when this was elemental, we had some issues with leftovers, LVM leftovers on a disk, right? So if you install into a previously installed disk which have LVM, it will fail. So we added a bulk deactivate, so the LVMs will be deactivated and we could format the disk. The problem with that is on some single disk multipath installations, if it's the configuration is set to greedy, it will just pick up like simple disk, right, and create a DM for it, even if it's a single disk. Or installer will pick that as the biggest disk in the system, and just before formatting, it will just do the bulk deactivate, so the DM disappears.
And
Uh,
what if they
the fix
want
is
that
to
disk?
well, the fix is to just remove the DM for now.
Yeah, but your comments here says we couldn't use it anyway because of how we run kpartex on that and things like that. So that
Yes. So if we pick a DM device, we don't support that because we to refresh after partitioning, to refresh the kernel, we do a kpartex to let the kernel check this disk and bring us the new partitions on it, and that's not compatible with DM devices. They don't have that stuff. So
what kind of devices are we talking here then? Because that sounds like a limitation Kairos in general. What kind of devices we're not supporting?
the DM devices,
What kind
whatever,
of devices
multiple,
RAID?
multipath devices. So like, I don't know.
Software RAID, for example?
Yeah. It's basically multipath devices. If you create a single device from several disks, for example, and use that, we won't support that.
And
So,
the limitation
this
is
is just
fixable?
this is multipath ones, right? So using the multipath kernel module, maybe some hardware RAID or software RAID not using the multipath works. We have no idea. We haven't supported that forever, and I asked around. Nobody told me that they are using it, so I'm not sure.
Let's not do anything then until someone says I want multipath devices. But if that time comes, it sounds like something we could fix. I'm assuming, I mean, it's Linux, right? And we're running a Linux distribution there, so...
Yeah. It's just we need to support that explicitly. So when we notice that it's a multipath device, then we do something different. We cannot do the same.
All right. For now, let's just skip DM devices. Okay. Bumping for CVs again. This is me trying to fix the UKI path. Wait, that's not this insecure registries. Okay. I discovered that while working on something else. There was a flow in the web UI that failed because of path we construct, which was wrong. It was an absolute versus relative path, something like that. So this was the fix for it. Obviously, nobody uses that because nobody complained. Disk selection paginate. All right, this goes hand in hand with the bigger epic, kind of, where we got some requests for additional features on the interactive installer, and we realized that it's not scaling well. Everybody might want a different experience out of the interactive installer, and honestly, the interactive installer is there mostly for testing. People doing that in production with lots of machines are not going to sit in front of each one of them and configure them by hand. That's error prone and slow, and there is cloud config for this reason. So instead of adding lots of features to the interactive installer, we built something, this something here, dispatch interactive installer to external installer, which means there is a point in time where the Kairos agent, when you say interactive installer, is going to look for, correct me if I'm wrong, Ettore, It's going to look for a specific binary the same way we look for providers or kcrypt and other things in Kairos. And if it finds that there, it passes execution to that thing, and that's it. That installer is responsible, or does it pass execution back? No, I think that thing is responsible to run Kairos agent manual install with a config. So the Kairos agent gives what? The config to it? Is it documented, by the way, how to use the plugin installer?
Yeah, it's all in the README of the Kairos installer. So how you can plug it in. Standalone
The
part also.
Kairos installer. What installer is that? That's a new one, right? So if I go here, oh, how did I do that? So Kairos installer, is that what I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Yes. That's the default, which means we also consume it now.
Correct.
Yes, it's part of init now.
Yeah.
A separate binary. So the interactive installer now is extracted to a separate binary living somewhere here. All right. So it's a reference implementation. Anybody who wants to implement their own installer should check this repo out, check the code, point their AI agent to this and say, hey, do more stuff, right? That's how it works. And it sends back. Okay. That's the part I didn't explain so far. So to support that, the Kairos agent has a new flag which says, which flag is that? That's this one, the envar. So when that is set, it sends these events so the installer can show progress. It can tell which step it is running now and things like that. So if anybody uses that and has ideas, let us know. This is the first iteration, but hopefully it's going to let everybody create their own UX with any installer they want, GUI, terminal UI, you name it, without the core team having to maintain all those features. Where were we? But this is a separate fix for the built-in installer. When you have multiple disks, they weren't showing correctly. It was cutting off. So this is fixing it with pagination from what I see. Okay.
Yeah, we never tested with 15 disks.
Yeah, we don't have money for lots of disks, so Kairos init again changes for the installer. TUI fixes backporting in older versions because that's where the request came from. Hadron FIPS images won't boot due to missing HMAC file.
Yes, that was all on FIPS. Your kernel has to have an HMAC file, which is basically a SHA of the image. It's nothing else. It just happens that the HMAC software that we were using, it was a bit broken. When it failed, it will not complain. It will not exit 0. So yeah, we had to redo it and fix it. We have now a small test to check that the HMAC file is not empty. And we also have a consumer of FIPS that is actively working on it. So that means that we will probably see more FIPS issues, which is good.
You like issues. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I like to know things that are working. And in this case, nobody was testing FIPS, so yeah.
All right. This was my first attempt to silence gripe, or at least not let it block our release. Obviously, it's not complete, but there is a flag in factory action now to not block the pipeline when gripe finds issues. By default, it's still blocked, so we don't break anybody's assumptions. So you can set it to false and not block it. And this is the this is us consuming this change in the factory action, the reusable on Kairos. Kairos installer pre-installation prerequisite checks. Old ticket? No, that's actually
No.
what is this?
This is again about the installer. We were asked to provide some way of letting people just do their own pre-checks before starting the installation, right? So one of the first tasks was to get a check for disks, and if there is stuff in the disk, I'll be able to ask the plugin or whatever to just format it. And we added that by having some hooks in there, which means we have a thing in place where you can add whatever checks you want instead of just relying on or checks.
Is it documented?
Yeah, it has some nice docs on how to do your own checks and whatnot.
All right, sounds good. Sales certificates problem on Hadron. There was a missing binary, and you replaced it with OpenSSL command.
Yeah, that's still ongoing because there has to be some weird thing that I broken. Basically, you run a very old thing, rehash C or something like that, to when you add new certificates, but that's very terrible. And instead of that, OpenSSL has provided the same function for a number of years to rehash stuff, and it's just substituting that.
It's only affecting people adding their own certificates on Hadron, right? The
Yeah,
default
and
ones
in fact,
are fine.
adding certificates is broken currently due to that. So.
All right. So are we hoping to put it in 4.1.1, the fix?
Yeah.
All right. SSH not working on Hadron FIPS variant, is that the original? No, it's not related to CA certificates, is it?
Yes and no. This came from there as well, but this is about on FIPS. When you SSH, it tries to go to the default encryption schemas, which are insecure, and that blocks SSH until you pass a specific method of connecting. So in FIPS now, we configure SSH to use first the FIPS approved encryption schemes, so it works out of the box. And when you SSH into it, it will just go to those instead.
Okay, and that's merged from what I see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Nice. Good job. One more bug fixed on Hadron. Stop reading deprecated. Yeah, we talked about that. That's what you just said about SSH and FIPS. Backporting fixes to older versions of Imcore, and yeah, just a quick fix from old tickets as part of a cleanup I was talking about. Yeah, I think I can archive them all now. All right, gone. So let's see. Under review, installation hook surface custom alerts during interactive install. We said we're gonna give them the way to create their own interactive installer. Are we still doing this? Are you there, guys? Test.
Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry. Not sure what's going on.
So are we still doing this, the installation hooks?
Yes, that's part of what it was merged of the whole framework for adding checks.
It's done then.
Yeah.
Can I close it?
Yep.
Wait. discovered. Wow, that's a lot of text. Oh my god. Is that a description? That's the description. Am I supposed to read before I close it, or?
No, that's all the docs, because I asked the original reporter of that. I put the docs in there and asked them, can you go over this and check if this is what you want before we merge stuff, and we can change. And they tested and said, yeah, this is what we want. So
Okay, I'm closing. Give me a second. It's so slow. I think it's because I'm sharing my screen, but I'm not sure. Provider Cube admin feedback report. We have a first implementation from William, and I think it also got some feedback already from Dario.
Yeah, there was some feedback. Dario is okay with the implementation, and after that, I have worked on the externally managed controllers, control plane, sorry, and that works. I have implemented the end-to-end tests, the end-to-end test suite, and also that works. I have seen a message from Ichaka regarding Hadron. The testings that I've done it with Ubuntu, but I didn't test Hadron. The Ichaka asked me for the pre-flight checks. I am running the kubeadm pre-flight checks on any init and join, but maybe that's not what Ichaka was asking.
No, that was. But if you're not using Hadron, then it's because we got a report that the checks won't pass on Hadron because we don't expose the configuration either via config file or via proc config. So they were having issues with that, and I was just worrying that why they reported and William did not. So yeah.
Okay. Then I'll are we going to plan to? Are you doing any work to expose the proc config, the proc and config?
Yeah. I'm enabling them in the base Hadron.
Okay, ping me when you're done. So then I'll run the test right away.
Okay.
So can I close it, or do we keep it? Have we captured the have we captured Dario's feedback someplace? Maybe in the README of the new repo as a to-do list on things we want to do. I mean, there's no reason to keep this open forever. We have to capture it somewhere.
Let me look at it today. I will go through the. I will make sure that what he asked is captured in the in an issue or in or somewhere in the repo or provider Kubernetes, and then I'll close it.
Nice. Okay. Thanks. This one we never picked up. It's broken on the web UI. The XSMD line support was partly implemented. We'll see. I mean, maybe I'll just point Claude to it and fix it. Just that it's the web UI, so it needs testing, right? I only discovered because I tested it. So it's manual testing. The Coco documentation, I think I updated that it works with Hadron, just that I wanted an image from 4.1.1, which is the image that is going to, so the first released image. All the testing I did was the image I built manually, locally. I wanted to test with the thing we release and deploy the Coco operator on it before we announce it working. And I'm still waiting for that. So this is waiting for the new release and me running a test, and that would be it. So I'll keep it there until the release lands. Supporting secure registries, yeah, that was the part I was missing. It's ready for review, but I think Copilot made a comment. Maybe I have to check it. But yeah, it's waiting for a human review here. I think I fixed Copilot's comments. Yeah, it's all done. Just need someone to give me the thumbs up, and I'll merge it. So, I did an experiment at some point last week to convert a core Hadron image to a standard using just a system extension, just to see if what we've been discussing is indeed feasible, and it turns out it is. So we could just ship a system extension for people to use and not ship standard images at all. We discussed that a bit among us, and we know there are pros and cons. So the obvious pro for us is we ship less artifacts, and the life cycle of the K3s and K0s and all the providers is completely separate to Kairos. So we have a fast cadence in Kairos releases. And the con is that what we called an atomic upgrade is no longer as atomic as before. It's almost atomic. So you have two pieces. You have Kairos itself, the operating system, and you have the actual workload, which is your provider or provided by your provider, and you can upgrade them separately, which with whatever that could lead to. Like, for example, you could try to upgrade Kairos with the old provider, let's say old K3s, old K0s, and at some point, all of a sudden it breaks. There's nothing you couldn't test on your lab, of course. You could test the exact same combination. It's just that it creates one more moving part. And that could confuse users because, I mean, we've been promising, hey, atomic upgrades are there to save you from these things. If we split it by default, then it's a new flow. And actually, there are features missing in Kairos to allow them to, for example, when you fall back to the passive partition, to the passive OS, it has to remember somehow which version of the system extension you are using, if you bump that as well as part of the upgrade. So it takes you to that because that's a combination that was working. So these things don't exist yet. But in any case, to collect feedback from everybody, I created a blog post that describes what I did. It links to my repo where I did that. The repo also creates an artifact for you to quickly try that out. And if you like it, I mean, it's just a blog post that describes the idea. So if someone can give me a thumbs up, we can publish it. And I'm pointing that to a discussion I didn't create yet. I'll create it if we decide to merge, so people can tell us their opinion there, so we can collect some feedback. So this blog post needs a change down here to link to an actual discussion, which I have to create first, so we can collect some feedback. Okay, that was it. That was an external contribution from Will to fix some links on the homepage of Kairos, but I think there is a Copilot, small Copilot comment for improvement and an approval from Chuck already, so we can probably merge it when the reporter decides what to do with the Copilot comment. Small fix in docs automatically created by my Claude instance. Let me see. Yeah. Sorry, there is some noise outside. I'm not sure if you can hear it.
No.
No? Yeah, but I cannot hear you anymore. It's really loud. One sec. Oh, God. Can you hear me at least?
Yeah.
Oh,
All right, okay. So, and last one, stop hard coding Docker prefix. That was also an old ticket which Claude tried to solve. I think it looks good. So waits for someone else's approval, and we merge. And that's what we did. Please, everybody, keep an eye and help close open things, and we don't leave them rotting there in under review. All right. What is currently in progress? I have to finish the insecure registry feature on the Kairos agent as well. Full risk 5 support. There was a tracking issue, but we were seeing the pipelines failing. I think on Hadron and Ithaca, if I remember correctly, we stopped blocking the release on them. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes, there was some, I can't remember what was, but yeah, some issue, and we had to just drop the risk 5
Yeah,
for now.
it's not ready then for prime time, but we're gonna revisit it, and when it's ready, we'll re-enable it. That's Mauro having to go back and add the adopter there. That's Mauro traveling to Barcelona. We didn't pick this up. I'm not sure what we decided to do with those repositories. It's still under discussion.
Yeah.
Uh, this is videos Mauro is producing around Kairos, interviewing the maintainers and community and such. So it's work in progress. And yeah, that was from Copilot trying to fix a comment from Mauro. Supposedly the fix I did to ignore CVs had to happen in other places, but Copilot failed to find them. I think I would just close this because I don't know where they are. Copilot doesn't know where they are. And if they are somewhere, we're going to find them. So I'm going to just close it there. All right. So that's done. We have 15 minutes left to decide what happens this sprint. Um, Obviously, we have to get the release out, which means we have to bypass or fix all the CVs, get this out. I'm gonna work on the Coco documentation thing, the Q&A, sorry, the QA of Coco with the new image, and I have to pick this up, finish this up. Itzhak, you already said you're going to be occupied with some internal requests, which leaves me, Mauro is traveling, which leaves me with just William, and whether, William, you know what you're working on next, or we need to plan something.
Well, I am at the moment. I am. I'm not moving with the copy provider. I'm waiting for a Hadron release with the VM tools. The provider Kubernetes, I suppose as soon as Ichaka is exposing the config, I'll move on that. And AuroraBoot, that I wasn't planning anything. So I'm pretty much I have cycles to get some stuff.
All right. We are gonna look at tickets quickly, just to see if we have to plan something. But just letting you know, we're discussing now. So we are playing a bit with AI to help us automate some chores and things that make sense. That's how I try to close some old tickets and reduce the amount of tickets we have open. We'll keep trying to do that. Uh, Obviously, we want to do it very carefully. I was looking, for example, at Open Code repository yesterday, and I was jumping from one pull request to the other pull request, and each one was closed because it was superseded by another one, and was all of them generated by some AI. That creates a real mess for human contributors to track down what's going on. I understand why they do it. They have 5,000 tickets open and they need to automate that, but we want to avoid getting to that state. So we're gonna introduce it slowly and very targeted. So for example, maybe there is gonna be some automation to create a little summary of what we just did. So I tried that this morning. I pointed it to the done column and it told it to create a summary of the sprint so the community can track down easily what the team is doing, because the moment we clean this up, people cannot easily go back and say, okay, let me see what's new on Kairos, right? So we're going to try to create little summaries like that also for us to know our progress, what we're doing. If we missed something, maybe we can have it looking at repositories. The thing I'm going to try to do that now, for example. So I go to tickets and I find new stuff from especially external contributors, because if we opened it, we already know about it. But if someone else opened something and we forget, we're trying to avoid this. So some of these we're going to try to automate slowly and carefully. But yeah, if you see bots interfering with tickets and things like that, that's probably us. So let us know if something is off. And or if, for example, it makes comments or closes tickets it shouldn't close, things like that. Okay, mostly for the people watching the recording, but also for us here. If you have any ideas on things we shouldn't be doing, because these are simply chores that AI can handle, bring it up. We're trying to, put our efforts on where it matters, and not on chores, clicking things, closing things, uh, things that the bots can do. Having said that, I don't see anything new opened, but if one of the tickets we opened is, so for example, this was there for a while, which means we don't have so many things open, and I think I reviewed something for this, Chaka, this morning, and approved it,
Yes,
I think.
yes, indeed. But it seems like I merged something into Hadron that shouldn't be merged, so the tests are broken until like the other there is other pull request in there for the part of the CR certificates also drops one of the things that were broken.
All right, I moved it to in progress then, so we don't lose it. Yeah, another one. Maybe I don't know if we can kind of like decide now, but I'll tell you what this is about. I was discussing with Ettore that each one of us has their own agent MD or Claude MD file, just to avoid, for example, when you write documentation, to avoid MDASs or emojis, or when we implement a feature, we tell it, hey, we're working with TDD here, our tests are written with Ginkgo. So all the guidelines of Kairos, and it turns out, I mean, it's a useful thing. And instead of everybody implementing it themselves, what we could do is create a Kairos contributor skill, which people can import and install on their harness, on the tool they use. And then they write, let's say, compatible code or compatible contributions. So maybe it could instruct it that it should do a final check. So things we would probably comment, because it's a common knowledge among the team, right? Like tribal knowledge, people don't have to know. They can easily get it from their AI when they're contributing something. And that's what this ticket is about. A skill they can install, and they write more, let's say, confrontment, the word, code. I'm not sure how you feel about it. Feel free to comment here. Yeah.
Yeah, there is one thing that I've seen that I was interested in at N-Scale in their GitHub organization. They have what they call the unit specification, and I'm going to put it in the chat here. And it basically directs AI agents, or namely Claude, it provide a single source of truth for all that is the specs and the references on how agents should behave with the code that is in that repository, in that organization. So maybe it's something that we can look at as well.
Yeah, good point. Want to comment on the ticket then?
Yeah, sure.
That's 4135. I'm pasting it there. Feel free to comment, and if you have more ideas like that, feel free. So we collect ideas here, and then we try initial implementation, see how we feel about it. By the way, Ettore has pointed me to this superpowers repo, which I installed. And okay, I have to admit, it burns tokens like crazy because it's very thorough on what it does. It writes something, then it tries to review that something, then makes corrections. So it's not just one pass through, right? It goes back and forth and back and forth, but the end result is very nice because it goes completely automatically and very carefully, and the final outcome is very well built. even when I used less capable models, even cheaper than Claude, for example, and things like that. So keep it in mind. I mean, it's a useful thing, but might burn some more tokens to do that properly.
Yeah, I've
All
been
right.
using that for a while, and it's really nice. You can also merge that with Caveman to save some tokens, which just instead of going all, yeah, you see the problem with this is blah 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 blah. It just gives you a straight answer. Like, yeah, the problem is here because this done. So it makes it less
Nice.
verbose, which means less context, which means less tokens.
Nice. All right, and I think that's all we had. Where's the discussion and the ticket? I think the bot messed it up. It created a discussion for the ticket. What am I looking at? This is, yeah, those are two. These are duplicate. That's the same content. 4135. Oh my God. No, it's not the same. Which one do we keep? 4134, it looks more complete to me. It has links. William, which one did you comment on? Oh, you commented on the one I linked. Let me check.
I didn't yet. I was going to.
Okay, but better do the 4134. Looks more complete to me.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm gonna close 4135. Closing in favor of. Maybe I should flex a bit. Wait. I'm going to dictate that. Closing in favor of. There you are. Close with comment. If you didn't notice, William, that's my voice keyboard. Which I'm gonna share, by the way, soon. I just have to review the code because it was 100% vibe coded. I did check the code a bit; it's clean, but I have to check it before I release it, and maybe
Yeah,
you
let's see
guys
it.
can use it. Yeah. But it's built for Sway right now, so the thing that actually types here, see, it's gonna type now. No, it didn't. Oh, that's embarrassing. It should be typing. What happened? Yeah, there you are. So the thing that types relies on a tool from Sway. So yeah, for other systems it will need adaptation. But anyway, coming soon. So guys, anything else you want to mention? I'll stop sharing.
No.
No. All right.
No,
Yeah.
I just wanted to know if there is a so the I'm Ichaka with the VM tools. Do you know when am I gonna get an Hadron release?
So
We're trying, man.
that's already released, but yes, it's already released as a Hadron. So you want the full thing, right? You want Hadron plus. I don't know.
Okay.
I think Dimitris, didn't you fix that K3S stuff and just release
Yeah,
it?
but it fails on something else now. So probably it fails on Hadron kernel and OpenSSL. And I think it was, I thought it was the same check I disabled, but I disabled that on releases. I didn't disable that on master, which means I have to disable it everywhere. So yeah, I'll just ask Claude to do it and see if master is green, except for CVs, and then try to cut a release.
Okay. So still you will be missing, William, if you do the pre-flight, you will be missing the config stuff. So
I'll just wait. Then I'll just wait, Ichaka. So we hit two pigeons with one flight. Yeah.
Probably a couple of days. I mean, if you want, you can create your own image as soon as it's merged, the config stuff. But yeah, for a like official one, yeah, probably a couple of days.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll just wait. It's okay. I maybe before we that's good, Chaka. But maybe before we close, I want to prepare one slide deck, guys. So there is KubeCon Japan, where we are going to provide an update to the community of what's the status of the sub projects in Kairos. I will prepare one deck. It's a 5-minute talk, so maybe we have one page for one slide for Hadron, one slide for AuroraBoot, one for I don't know, maybe we can do one for Kubernetes and we have provider Kubernetes and copy, or maybe we want do one for copy, one for provider Kubernetes. I don't know, but what I would say is I will if you each one of you can work on what you have been doing on each one of your slides, maybe that's best. What do you think?
Can you list the slides you want and say, because I mean, is it going to be a separate one, for example, for the operator, another one for AuroraBoot?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, okay, maybe post the list and each one of us picks a slide and we send you a list. I don't think you will have enough time to talk through all of them. Maybe just mention them, because as you were talking, I already started thinking, okay, this and this and this and that. So it's not in 5 minutes won't be enough. Maybe enough to just list them.
But I can put the items of interest in the slide, and that will stay in recording. The people can take a picture or so. And but in the update, I can say real quickly, one phrase of what it is in each slide, because I have 5 minutes. If we have something like 5 or 6 slides, that's more than enough. That's okay.
Okay, so you send the list, we pick a slide, we send you back the items.
I'll prepare the deck. I will I'll send a list, and I'll prepare one slide per item, and then if each one of you can work, we can work collaboratively on the deck. That's okay.
And that's the last year, right? The updates of the past year, 12 months we're talking about.
I would say from the highlights from KubeCon Amsterdam, between KubeCon Amsterdam and KubeCon Japan.
Okay, that will be smaller then. Okay.
Yeah, I would say that's the major things that we want to tell. Yeah.
Nice. All right, man.
When was Amsterdam?
A couple of months back.
Yeah, I was in April, right?
April. Okay.
I think it was in April or March, something like that.
Yeah, end of April.
So long ago now.
Yeah, maybe March. No, I think it was April. All right. Okay, guys. So we can do that asynchronously.
Yeah, 26th of March. Yeah.
All right. Anything else? No. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Bye.
And a good week.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.